Let's have a look what Spectrum Next can do on the Raspberry Pi 400 then. So let's come out the screensaver. So we've got NextOS here. We can change between 3.5, 740 and 28 megahertz right from this screen. We've got our calculator and Next Basic, command line, etc. So as you can see down here, I've got a D drive mounted as well as the main NextOS C drive, and there's a RAM drive there. So if we go into browser, if I go to D to change the drive, there's a load of games in that retrospect folder at the top, but I've actually put some choice games on here now. It makes it a lot easier to navigate because there's so many in there. So yeah, we've got quite a few Dizzies. These are all Spectrum original games. I've got Outrun. It says 128, but it's actually the 48 version. Pac-Mania, Turbo Outrun, Turbo the Tortoise, Turrican. What you can actually do is you can load these games just by pressing enter on them. It works best with tap files, it seems. So let's see if I want to load Treasure Fantastic Odyssey, press enter on one of them. We've got our choices between 1 to 8K mode, USR 0, 48 Pentagon, etc. If you look here, it says wait at loading screen off, tape loading simulation off, advanced hardware options. Advanced hardware options allow the DMA settings, and I don't know what this is, AY sound in 48 mode. Yeah, there's quite a few options to come out of that. This is the one that's quite funny. You got tape loading simulation. If you change that to on, then we can load the game just as we would have done back in the day. So if I press escape, sadly I haven't figured out to get back to the main menu, but if you just run the next.sh again, it will start. There must be a way of getting back to NextOS once you've started a game, but I'm not sure how to do that yet. If we have a look, browser again, go back to them games, change the drive to D. What I found was quite funny is if you go onto one of these, you can change the select speed. So if I change it to the default 28 megahertz, put the tape loading on, now watch it load. I find it quite funny, amusing. How cool is that? It's like 4 times the speed. Come out of that again. I need to figure out a way of not having to go through this process every time you want to go back to the start, but yeah. If I go to the browser, this is all running on Raspberry Pi 400. There it is. Sorry it's not in shot, I've got the tripod a bit closer than I would like. The way my room's laid out, it's a bit awkward sometimes. Okay, so if we go into the browser again, go into the D drive, go into our choice games. Of course you can just choose a game, and if you keep this off, it will load it instantly. So let's do that now. There it is, you can see it will load it pretty much instantly. That type loading simulation just for nostalgic purposes, really. It's pretty cool though. And you can see Spectrum emulation works pretty well on here. Now there is problems with Next emulation. Some of the games don't work. As you saw in the other video, Warhawk works, but some of the other games do not, unfortunately, that come supplied. Let's come out of this. Where's my cursor? There it is. Is it going to execute? I think we've locked up. It's probably because I've got too many of these running. Yeah, we seem to have locked up a bit. Let me just reboot the Pi. So yeah, this Pi, Raspberry Pi cost me £66 directly from the Pi400. I already had the a suitable power supply and cable, and I got my own mouse as well, just a wireless trust thing. But you can buy the official Raspberry Pi one, of course. Yeah, it's a really nice little unit. Very impressed with the build quality. Nice to type on as well. You could actually use this as like a sort of basic office style computer as well. But the main purpose I got it was for Spectrum Next emulation mainly. So, okay. If I go into browser again, go look at choice games. So for some reason it says 128 on this Z80 but it's actually the 48 version. Because if I choose this, it just crashes. It starts loading, so I need to get a better ROM. As you can hear, it's a 48 beeper music. So the Spectrum Next emulates 48 beeper as well, okay? But when you start it, it just crashes, unfortunately, as you can see. So yeah, we need to look into that one. Need to get a better ROM. Probably a tap file would be better. So yeah, open this. There's probably a way of getting back to NextDOS, like I keep saying, without having to do that, but I'm not sure how to do that yet. Choice games. So yeah, these Z80 files are probably not the best to use. It's probably best to use TAP files. You can see we can load it in. Don't know if you can hear that. Works just fine, as you can see. This is my favourite game of all time. Fantastic World Dizzy. So basically with this emulator you've got both Spectrum Original and Spectrum Next, because obviously the Spectrum Next system does do original games anyway. I'll quickly show you what happens with one of these Spectrum Next games. It might be fixed in a future release of C-Spect, but if I launch it again, we go to the browser. Let's start NextDOS, go to the browser, go to one of the Spectrum Next games. Retro Survival I wanted to get working. Sorry, Revival Survival should I say. Sadly it doesn't work. It just crashes at that. I'm not sure why that is. Maybe the C-Spec team are working on it. But yeah, so yeah, let's the only way you can come out of it is press escape. So there's some extras, there's keyboard testers and stuff all in here. What else have we got? Demos. See if any of the demos work. Cool. Sounds quite good. Using an AY chip. Or emulated AY chip. Is it trying to make a word? No, I don't think it is. It's just showing some effects. Transparency effects and stuff. Well, what's going to happen next? Anything? Stars are disappearing. Get rid of this arrow. That's just a... So yeah, that's that demo working fine. Let's reboot the Pi. Doesn't take long. This is the actual length of time. For some reason on this LG television set from 2008 it wouldn't accept the HDMI signal from the Pi, so what I've done is I've got a micro HDMI to VGA adapter and it works fine through there. It also carries the sound as well through this 3.5mm jack. I got that for about £5 on Amazon. Works well. Don't know why this LG doesn't like direct HDMI from the Pi. I think some other people had the problem as well. I tried all the resolution changes and everything in the config.file and nothing would work. But it's happy enough on VGA, so that's good enough for me. So browser. See, navigating these games can be quite tricky because it's quite slow because there's so many games in there. This is S to Z. I should break it down further so it's A, B, C, D, E to a folder rather than S to Z. That just makes it too slow. Of course, we've got to try a bit of Saboteur too. It's a bit of a pause because of the amount of files. Should eventually wake up. Yeah, there we go. I'm going to put it on a 28 megahertz again and tape loading. Oh, that's a bit loud. I find it quite amusing that you can load them so quick. So obviously this is the classic Saboteur 2 by Clive Townsend, Duel 1987, quite a while ago now. You can see the woman and the city and the logo, the spectral colours there. That's a nice little touch. I think this game also come out on other formats, and it's a bit loud. Wow. See how long this takes? I'll just leave it going. So yeah, okay, there's our privacy screen, and we got, can you hear that? Whoa, it's running a bit fast because I've got it on 28 megahertz. At least I think it is. Okay, so there you go. Thank you for watching. If you want me to try out anything else on here, then let me know. And yeah, just a quick, brief Bank Holiday Monday afternoon video. Thank you. Goodbye.